we recording? No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Welcome to session 0. I am Teach. You can follow me at Talk and Teach. I have all of my friends here, and I took them through an hour of just absolute freaking torture with math and numbers. This game, this is the first session of what I hope will be something that happens a lot. Project Gotham, as we call it right now. Ridge Streamcast playing their first ever tabletop role-playing game. I have real dice, everyone else has digital dice, and we are gonna have a frickin' blast. We're not making money off of this, so thank you so much for watching and just sharing in the story with us. Second, this is a completely homebrewed system that is borrowing a lot of elements from Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, as well as the Fate 6-sided dice kind of role-playing system. I enjoyed the superhero aspect of that, but it was a little bit too Teen Titans with masks. So we wanted to do our own thing in the DC universe, and I really like the idea of Gotham City. And a lot of these folks really enjoy DC Comics. I'm going to start with my good buddy Fame from Don't Make Me Famous. You want to give us a quick introduction on you and your character's name?
Sure. So what's going on, guys? Fame here from Ridge Streamcast, back with more little things in life that you love to talk about. And it's exciting just to be able to be here. First time doing the D&D session. Project Gotham is something that Teach has been working on for months now. He helped me draft this character. So my character's name is Benjamin James Baldwin. For short, they call me Ben Baldwin. I grew up in Wayne-town in Gotham. Pretty much the parents were both people that worked for Wayne Industries. Mom worked for Wayne Elementary, had twin sisters. Pretty much we grew up and something tragic happened pretty much to where I ended up working for someone very important in Gotham. And so I'm highly tech savvy, and I am somebody that is not necessarily out for revenge, but I protect my own and I protect my neighborhood. And there's a certain somebody that I am looking for that I hope to find one day, because I gotta exact revenge on him. So that's all I'm gonna share for right now, and we'll keep
going. Okay.
Next, Khalil, Khalil, our good friend.
Yo, what up? It's HK, Khalil. My character's name is Carl Elton. After Bruce, let's call him Batman right now, passed away, he moved to Gotham. He is a doctor, and he's come back to help the town after things have changed since the Bat family died out. So, yeah, I'm just leaving it at that.
Sounds good. Sounds great. And down straight below me, we've got our great friend and anime expert, and somebody we hope to see on some gaming streams sometime soon. Some Overwatch League fan, Kay Sorrells. How you doing, man? How are you going to introduce yourself, and what's your character's name?
Yeah, so you can call me Triggin. That's what I try to go by anyway. But my character, his name...
you can bleep out what I said earlier, and we'll go with that.
Cool, that works. Cool. All right. He is Dr. Otto Church. He actually was born in a place called Elohim, Texas. Not actually from Gotham. He was raised on a farm with about 7 other siblings. Very churchy people. But he's more of an intellect himself. Didn't fit in well with his family or where he lived at, so he ended up moving to Gotham and making a name for himself. Tried to anyway, but where he works at, he sits back burner to someone who's a little bit more brilliant than he is. But Church has a little special things he's into on his own, more like let's say in the realms of mystics and magic, sort of, per se. So we'll learn more about him as we go into it. But that's Otto Church. Dr. Otto Church.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, another anime expert, one of our wonderful folks from the Ridge Streamcast, and the gentleman who runs our very, very funny and an account you should follow, our Instagram account.
What I go by now, the Sensei, part of Sensei and Patches. My character's name is James Marks, also known as The Hive. He's a Gotham native that actually went on to go into the military. He started out around the year one Batman, but he's kind of like not necessarily taking up the Batman mantle, but is kind of setting out to try to set everything straight after all this May happens. Yada yada. But yeah, that's what we got.
Let's say we just jump straight in, because each of your heroes has had a little bit of a backstory and building so that we were able to get into different characters, so that we could kind of meet who they were before putting it out on the internet. And you know they have other things to do. Some random old guy with a cane has given each of your heroes a letter, inviting you to a meeting of like-minded individuals in order to save the city. This meeting is in 1 week, but crime never stops in Gotham. I wrote this in cursive. I'm going to do this for fun. That was a poor choice. Our heroes continue their activities during this week, keeping their neighborhoods safe. Earlier in the day, the mayor had announced a new community center that will serve the youth in the central district of Gotham. As control of the buildings usually sparks conflict between GCPD and the various gangs and organizations that claim control of the streets and the residents. With ground being broken the day after the announcement, our heroes are on full alert for the inevitable conflict, as the innocent are the first to suffer. The heroes find themselves needed again this evening as a myriad of cars travel the usually quiet traffic on the streets in the central district. Low, squat buildings sit between tall apartments as the cars slowly roll through the normally pedestrian-packed streets. At the end of the block, on the roof of one of the less populated apartment buildings, a man clad in dark clothes waits patiently for the sun to set. 5. You're overlooking these central streets in the district, and you can see the older business that is about to be torn down. You have a good vantage point. You can see a couple of blocks in each direction. This is a solid lookout. What do you think you might be on the lookout for most? What concerns the Hive? What do you think is going to happen?
Looking for anything that seems awry. It has been, some activity has been going on, so it's not necessarily quiet. Is there any way I can collect data with one of my devices?
Certainly. What would you be wanting to measure? What are you kind of hoping to get out of this data collection?
So what I could do is use my knowledge of the environment and set out a literal bug to fly around for a few blocks.
Excellent. I'm going to say if you're going to have like one of your creations do that and kind of send it out in drone style, I'm going to have you make a conjure check. And
Okay.
This is the skill associated with any sort of drone, robotics, something that you are creating or conjuring in order to complete a task. So, Sensei, let's go ahead and have you roll 1d20 plus your conjure bonus. 17 total. Excellent. As your drone kind of flies through and collects different data, you start noticing subtle signs of the different street gangs that kind of roam this area. Now, whatever colors they bear and whatever crests, you know they serve one of 3 people. Don Falcone, Red Hood, or the Black Mask. Those are the 3 kind of ruling folks that are present here. And you do see some small conflicts going off, nothing to really garner your attention until you notice somebody that's been getting a little bit of your attention. Somehow, these thugs that you keep teaching a lesson to have been showing back up with signs of medicine that you're not really familiar with. And as your insect kind of down into the traffic, kind of dodging and weaving between cars that are slowly rolling, different levels of music and different styles playing, some shouting and screaming, and then you see leaning against a building, just kind of keeping an eye on everything, with a little like strange bulges in its sleeves. You see Car. And Car, you've gotten word that this community center could be a good place to be near, right? Because lots of folks coming and going that may need good medicine help. You have a little bit of a vested interest in seeing this go off without a hitch. You can decide for yourself if you care who runs it. But you're keeping a watch. Go ahead and could you make me a perception check, please?
With a 5, that ain't good.
You got a 5?
That ain't good.
Well, there's a bug that keeps on flying past you, and it's pretty annoying. You just kind of swipe at it a couple times, but it keeps pestering you, and you don't notice too much about it. So as you're keeping watch, you're going to continue moving kind of from space to space to space, and sipping on some coffee outside of a cafe nearby. Is go ahead and could you describe your character for me, Church? What does he look like?
Out of sitting in not uniform, casual, khaki pants, dress shoes, plaid button down, watching from afar, drinking the coffee. He's got red hair, green eyes, so he's a little Irish dude. He's chilling out here, watching.
As Car continues down the street a little bit, I'm gonna have you roll Xenoscience for me, if you could, Church.
I actually have my dice, so I'm gonna.
A hero among men.
Maybe I should have used Discord. That would be an 8 because I got a +2 for my intelligence on my Xenoscience.
Okay, so for a total of 10, you do hear this subtle ringing in the air as you notice a Car. What do you look like as you walk by Church?
He has on button up, white button up, black tie, black slacks, dress shoes on, chilling. Just
walking on by, and it just has this subtle ringing to it. Church, are you going to say anything?
Yeah, I actually want to roll an insight check.
Please do.
Checking it out. So I also have a pros on my insight, so it's going to be +4.
Okay.
I rolled a 2, so 6 total.
It's a sharp look. That's a dapper-looking gentleman as they walk by, and that's about it. But that ringing, it's there, and you can tell. It's weird. Car, you definitely clock this person noticing something about you, but not really being able to tell much. But that damn fly is still just like. As he continues walking, Ben, you are kind of patrolling a little bit more than anything else, just kind of getting a feel for who's around, drawing many of the same conclusions about the 3 major players that are in town right now. And you hear this cutting a little bit through the traffic, and for just a moment you hear it before just like and you realize you kind of stopped in the middle of the road and like a truck is just like pulling its horn at you. Hey, get the out of the road! What do you do?
I yell back. Shoot, I'm walking here. That's a free country. What's wrong with you? I yell back at the
Do it on the sidewalk! He just drives around you, just like, typical Gotham driver, Gotham Exchange. Go ahead and could you please do an enhanced self check for me really quickly, as you kind of like that buzz, there's something about it that's stuck with you. And you kind of like take a moment and focus, trying to trace the sound.
Look at that.
Oh, hey, but a 16. Okay, so it worked. Like maybe this is the first time you've been like trying to enhance your senses using your ability, and it kind of goes all right for a second, and then you hear it like, and somebody just like get the and you realize that it's not buzzing you're hearing, but the whir of a drone. You now have a choice. This drone is harassing this person. Do you stop it? Do you follow? Or do you care?